All right, 2025 NFL Draft Prospect Profile. Alfred Collins today, defensive tackle, nose tackle out of Texas. The Bears did use a combine visit. One of their 60 combine visits was used on Alfred Collins. So they did meet with him on a formal interview. And I would say it's specifically for the run defense that he offers, because there's a clear difference between the top defensive tackles in the first round of this draft and the second round of this draft. So this might be a good video for Bears fans who are curious about that, who have said, nah, we can take a defensive tackle later in the second, third round. Omar Norman Lott, Alfred Collins, even Derek Harmon if he falls later in the first, into the early seconds. There's guys we can take later on. Well, there's plus and minuses to all that. And I'm going to tell you the one difference between those top guys is they are very stout at both the run and getting pressure. And you'll see here in the tape that I'm going to show of Alfred Collins, there is zero pressure generated. So if the Bears go after Alfred Collins, I won't be upset. You're just going to use him in specific sets. He's going to be a purely run defensive tackle, nose tackle. He will be in there to stuff the run, to clog holes, and to shed people up. You're going to see the tape here in just a second. He is very elite at his ability to stay focused in the schemes, focused at what teams give them, shedding them off, and getting the tackle. So you're going to see that in the tape here. He's got an ideal frame and length for a nose tackle. He's big, he's strong, over 330 pounds. He's a bull. So you're going to like what you see on tape as far as his size, and I do too, but there is no pressure generated. You can see here in this last year here, only 1 sack, only 15 total pressures and 234 opportunities. 20 last year and 189, so a little bit better, but still just no pressures and no resulting in sacks. In fact, I don't have it on here, but his average depth of tackle, so where he tackles someone, is 3 yards gained. So they gain 3 yards before he tackles. So you might already be turned off to him, but as you watch the tape here, you're going to see some unique things where he's almost like an outside linebacker that drops in coverage, who can really see what's happening in the play, and he can chase people down from behind. He's not slow whatsoever. He's quick. He just doesn't have a burst and the ability to fight and win the battles against these offensive linemen that are going to give him problems. So he's got upside as a pocket collapser with his strength to be able to handle double teams, to be able to be strong against them. He's battle-tested against some of the best competition. He can be versatile between a 3-tech and a 1-tech, so he's got versatility there. And his biggest strength is his ability to quickly cut off move blocks, really shed those blocks and get to the tackle. So you can see he was 5th overall in overall defensive grade this last year and 5th in run defensive grade. His tackling is off the chart, too. You see missed tackles only 1.9%, so he doesn't miss. But he's clearly and obviously only a run-defending tackle. So as you look at that and you say, well, what should the Bears do at 10 in the first round? Well, ideally a trade down is perfect, because then, unless Mason Graham's gone or is there, and then you can take Mason Graham. But if you can't trade down, get Walter Nolan or Kenneth Grant, because once you get into the second round, these guys, they're either really good at pass rush or they're really good at run defense. Those top guys in this draft, they're the only ones that are going to be your 3-down defensive tackles that are equipped to handle both and to be really strong at both of them. But if we're looking to utilize, hey, we need someone to come in for a rundown, we're needing a run stuffer, Alfred Collins is about as really as good as you get. So as I always do, play a little bit of film, read from you the scouting reports. This is from the SEC scouting report. They say he displays otherworldly strength at the point of attack, regularly tossing SEC guards aside like they're tackling dummies in practice. Elite processor who diagnoses pulling guards and down blocks with the quickness of a linebacker playing in slow motion. Maintains run gap integrity with a sturdy base and vice-like grip hands that make him nearly impossible to move off his spot. Exceptional length with 35-inch arms that he uses to keep blockers from getting into his chest while maintaining separation. Shows impressive patience at 2-gap defender, keeping his head on a swivel while controlling blockers before violently discarding them. Natural leverage winner who consistently gets under offensive linemen's pads despite his towering frame. Displays uncanny timing when batting down passes, using his basketball player length to disrupt throwing lanes. Anchor strength is off the charts, regularly resetting the line of scrimmage against single blocks and holding ground versus double. So here's the wave drill. pause the scouting report real quick and just look at his fluidity as he moves. He's really, I mean, for a big guy, he can really change direction and be aware of what's happening really, really well. So I'm very impressed with that, and I think that would be a huge asset for any team that picks him up. But on the same length, his weaknesses, his pass rush arsenal is severely limited, relying almost exclusively on bull rush without developing counters or finesse moves. His lateral agility is concerning, often getting sealed off when forced to move horizontally against reach blocks. Here's another example from the combine of his quickness and his agility. It's just for a 330-pound guy, he does move really, really well. It's just he's not winning. And then right here, look at this. That's cat-like reflex. That's what I'm talking about, like an outside linebacker, where he's just aware of that ball, and he was able to snag it and get the interception. So shows below-average explosiveness off the snap. That's what I was saying, limiting his ability to penetrate and disrupt in passing situations. Spin move looks more like a dancing bear than a defensive tackle, often losing balance and removing himself from plays. His age is a minor concern. I didn't mention that. He's almost 24 years old, so you can see at the bottom there he's been playing 5 years at Texas, so potentially limiting his developmental runway. So a team who takes him, by the time you have the 4 years with him, he's going to be almost 28 years old. So you're really having to impact this rookie contract. You're going to need it to really hit to be able to utilize taking him. Definitely not a first rounder in my opinion, but a good option later. I mean, if we trade down and say we end up picking like a Josh Simmons, just a scenario. Say we take Josh Simmons and then we pick up, 18 and 50 or 20 or 19 and 49 or 51, and we get an extra one there in the 48, 59, 50 range. I wouldn't mind taking Alfred Collins in that 50, 49, 48 range if you've already, got some other things, because we did pick up Grady Jarrett, and he would be great for penetration, be able to collapse pockets, and then on a set rundowns, you can have Alfred Collins come in. He can also rotate in with Andrew Billings and Jervon Dexter. So I don't hate the idea of Alfred Collins, but if we're going to go defensive tackle, I really want to pick up, a Walter Nolan, a Mason Graham, or a Kenneth Grant. That's just my opinion on it. But so his scouting report summary, they say the film doesn't lie. Collins dominates the run game with rare power and processing speed that will translate immediately to the NFL level. His ability to stack, shed, and control gaps jumps off the tape. When the 330-pound wrecking ball gets his hands on you, the play is effectively over. His instant recognition of blocking schemes and ability to maintain gap discipline while destroying blocks will make him an immediate difference maker against the run. The pass rush, his limitations are real. There's no sugarcoating his lack of a plan or counter moves when rushing the quarterback, but we are talking about a defensive tackle who can single-handedly shut down an opponent's ground game. His elite run-stopping ability and football IQ will earn him significant snaps from day one, particularly in a defense that emphasizes controlling the line of scrimmage. After diving deep into the tape, Collins profiles as a high-floor, moderate-ceiling prospect who will anchor an NFL defensive line for years to come. His supernatural play strength and processing speed will make him a force on early downs, while his length and raw power provide a foundation to build upon as a pass rusher. Despite his limitations, this is a player worth targeting in the late second round. He's going to make some defensive coordinator very happy by consistently winning his gap and freeing up teammates to make plays. So, one of the biggest weaknesses the Bears had last year was the run defense, and stopping the ground game, stopping the ground and pound. And when we couldn't do that, teams ran on us at a historic rate. The Bears were one of the worst in the league at our run defense. So taking someone like this, I don't hate the idea of it all. The Bears obviously met with him at the scouting combine. He was one of the top 60 visits. So they have their eyes on him. We'll see if it's something they go after. What they target in the first round will really determine how the second round goes. But I would only really like to pick him up if we generate more draft picks. This is just my opinion on him. But I think he would complement some of these other guys like Grady Jarrett very well in our defense. Definitely not my top priority, and someone that there's a gap between your tier 1 defensive tackles and your tier 2 defensive tackles. So let me know what you guys think about Alfred Collins after watching a little tape, hearing the scouting report, hearing a little bit more on him. Definitely someone the Bears are considering, so it is an option. And with that, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Hit the like button if you don't mind. Until next time, Bears, and bear down.